Hello, everyone, and welcome to Top of Mind Live with Ann and Rachel. My name's Rachel Profitt. Um, I'm a white female with long red hair that's down today. My pronouns are she, her. I am wearing a black and white checkered shirt, and I am in my office as usual with my epic sticker wall behind me. Ann, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Ann Krupke. My pronouns are she, her. I'm also a white female. I've got brown hair that's up today. I'm wearing a black sweatshirt and I'm coming to you from my home office.
I'm finishing a snack here, and my cat Bailey, one of my cats, Bailey, is you see him on camera. He just keeps coming in. I think he wants to be famous. I don't know what his deal is today.
It might be the food that you have, but
Probably.
probably.
So, Anne, tell me, what's top of mind for you today?
Well, probably planning optimization because we just spent some time talking about it internally. For anybody who doesn't know, in 10.0.32, we've got some sort of significant changes that we are adding in to support continued adoption of planning optimization. And we're planning a tech talk in March. So been doing some work to get that all ready and to make sure that we're communicating the changes that are coming through. And hopefully we'll see some more customers being able to use our planning optimization service.
Awesome.
What about you? What's on your mind?
Again, this week, it's just more business processes. I prototyped a bunch of pages for the new guidance hub that is going to go live in March. So that's super exciting.
Wow. I didn't know it was that soon.
Yeah. We're hoping that first round, the first release of the guidance hub will have it'll have all 13 end-to-end processes and 3 articles about each end-to-end process.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So that's super exciting. I think the other thing for me, I have a customer that is getting very close to going live, who's been implementing for a while, and they're just starting UAT and struggling with how to get their users to really understand what needs to happen during UAT. Mm-hmm. And they keep getting, I'll call them requirements, like corner cases maybe coming out of the woodworks. And so just trying to deal with that from a governance standpoint and deciding what, is this MVP? Do I have to have this before I go into the live environment, or can this wait until post go live? So I think dealing with some difficult conversations there, but good conversations. I think the other, exciting thing that's been happening this week, the Chat GTP and the new Bing search. My cat is just going nuts over here. He's like, can you just lay down, please? Thank you. Like the announcement of the general availability of our OpenAI stuff, which is super exciting. I've been seeing some really fun posts out there of people using it. I'm hoping to install the new Bing search on my computer so I can just use it right inside of my browser every day. I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think the application of ChatGPT that I'm most excited about is for creation of puns to put in our tech talks, or other content. And I just have to share with you, I can't remember if I shared this one with you earlier, but for anybody who's listening, did you hear about the new artificially intelligent Oreo?
No, Anne. Tell me about the artificial intelligent Oreo.
It's one smart cookie.
Anne, I've always loved your puns. So I vote keep them coming.
Well, with my new friend ChatGPT, we have untapped resources that we can hit. So
I wonder if we should open ChatGPT right now and ask it for topics to talk about. Well, though, we did have 2 requests from last week, so maybe we hit those.
Sure.
And if we still have time left over, maybe we can go ask ChatGPT to help us out. So the first one that we had, which was submitted during the live session last week, was somebody asked, who we are and how they become our customer. And I think we've interpreted the question correctly. Is like, who is FastTrack and how do you become a FastTrack customer? If that's not what you wanted to hear about, do let us know. You can type it into the comments, whatever, but you can ask a question in the chat and we will try to answer those for you. But so who are we? Who is FastTrack? Well, we obviously did like accessible introductions at the beginning, which just kind of describe what we look like. But we're both senior FastTrack solution architects. And if you don't know what FastTrack is or what FastTrack solution architects are, Anne is going to explain it for you now.
Oh, great. I've got it. I'm ready. So FastTrack is a free customer success program provided by Microsoft to Dynamics customers who are implementing our software. And we work with both FastTrack customers in CE, customer engagement, as well as finance and operations. I believe there's another FastTrack team that also works with Azure. Although we aren't closely affiliated with them, I believe it's the same kind of concept. So Rachel and I work in the Dynamics FastTrack team. There are a few different ways that customers are participate in the FastTrack program, and it's kind of based on the tier that you're in with regards to licensing that you purchase from Microsoft, the annual spend. Everyone is a FastTrack customer, at least at the self-service level. And what we've done is we have 100 to 200 FastTrack solution architects who have been working with our customers since we released the first versions of D365 on the cloud. And with all the experiences that we have with our different customers, we take the lessons learned and have turned it into this proactive guidance and documentation to provide to any customer to help them identify risks early on and have a good understanding of how to do a successful implementation. And that is primarily documented in our FastTrack implementation guide, which has an AKA link. I don't know, Rachel, if you know it off the top of your head.
I do believe it is aka.ms/D365 implementation guide.
There you go. So it's like 800 pages of documentation. It's mostly a focus on governance and the technical architecture of D365. So I can't say that I've read it end to end, but I've definitely pulled up specific chapters when I have things. Have you read it end to end, Rachel?
No.
No, I didn't think so. And then we have so you've got self-service. Everybody's a FastTrack customer, but for our larger customers, there is as well a more hands-on approach where you get assigned a solution architect from Microsoft, like Rachel or myself, and we have a more workshop-based approach where we will meet with the customers directly. We'll review their general project overview, the scope, the solution, the test strategy, every piece of the project, and provide feedback and ongoing workshops to help the customer work through some of their complexities and issues.
Yeah. So you mentioned the implementation guide and the 800-page book. One of the other things that's happening right now is we are converting the implementation guide to be available in Docs, right? Or MS Learn. So it was all rebranded. It's not called Docs anymore. I think, maybe in a year or two, I'll stop using the word Docs.
I'll never stop.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, what was it before that? TechNet?
Yeah. Yeah, TechNet. And then I think it had another name before TechNet too, if I recall correctly. But in true Microsoft style, we like to rebrand things. So, but I do think it'll be super exciting because now you'll be able to just search for whatever key terms you're looking for and be able to get right to that content without having to like first go to the book and then search for, data migrations or integrations or whatever you might be looking for. So that should be super, super good and exciting, I think, for people.
Definitely. Yeah. So that's kind of the high level on what FastTrack is. We are also part of the product engineering team, technically. So we work with customers and help provide their feedback to the product team. And we help facilitate some of the preview programs as well that the product team does. If you're trying to get involved with the FastTrack program, participate in the FastTrack program, there is a nominations process. I'm trying to see I don't know if we have a short link for that one, but there is if you go to the Microsoft Learn website and you look up FastTrack, there is a few articles with information on how you can qualify for FastTrack and how to get a nomination submitted so that you can be considered for maybe the higher tiers of the program.
I'll paste the link into the chat.
Thanks. And I feel like I should know more of these ones off the top of my head, but we're running out of memory out there.
Yeah. We did have a question come in. Somebody asked from LinkedIn, hello, what about the magazine? HTTPS twitter.com/FastTrack9-365. Great question. So the FastTrack magazine is pretty new. I think this was like our third or fourth issue, right? That came out.
So also that's the FastTrack team we're on that produces this magazine. You actually might see our names in one of the issues there with some of the content we've done. So it's another great tool that we produce that's open for any Dynamics user, customer, partner. And the FastTrack magazine is highlighting the recent content that we've created or news that anybody who uses Dynamics should be aware of. So I'm really excited to see that we've started this. Shout out to Tommy and Ilya who have been working really hard on the FastTrack magazine. That's a great resource for people to have.
It's a great resource. Like I think something I hear all the time is like it's so hard to keep up with everything, right? There's so many different resources and so many new features and so on. And kind of the FastTrack magazine, the whole idea, the whole goal is to just consolidate it all right into one place that you can go find all the latest and greatest. So I think it's a great resource. So thanks for the question. Feel free to keep them coming. So the other topic that somebody requested, it wasn't a live viewer, but they commented on the YouTube. They watched back the recording last week. Somebody asked a question about security and financial dimensions. So I figured I'd go ahead and address that question that was asked. So thank you for watching and thank you for submitting your questions in. The question was really about like how we can secure our data by financial dimensions. And they were asking if there's an alternative other than an XDS policy. So if you're not familiar with XDS policies, those are XDS policies stands for Extensible Data Security Policies. We always caution from a FastTrack perspective, anytime you want to use an XDS policy to set up row level security, It's a very powerful tool. We don't want to tell you not to use it, but we do want to kind of tell people to use it with caution, especially from a performance standpoint. Because you can basically create queries that join lots and lots of tables together, it can cause severe performance issues. So if you are going to make a new XDS policy, make sure you're testing it. The other kind of question that was posed in the YouTube comment last week was really about like whether or not we have any roadmap planned in this area to introduce any out-of-the-box functionality, and kind of commenting about like the data models now being available in the data lake and kind of the direction that we're going with financial analytic reporting. While we are doing a lot of work and will continue to do a lot of work around the Azure Data Lake and the data models and investing in that area, there aren't currently any plans to update that security model. So if this is something you're hearing a lot of, I would strongly recommend that you go out to the ideas site and check to see if it's already an existing idea. If it's not, submit it, and then go get all your friends and colleagues to vote it up. We have a couple of questions coming in, so let's just take a quick look at those. So one of the questions that came in from Shrikant, I don't know if I've pronounced that correctly, hopefully I did, but he asked, is there any demo data resource available for asset management module?
I guess I'll take that one.
Yeah, that one's for you, Anne.
In the Contoso data set, there is a set of demo data in USMF. So there's, if you deploy a sandbox environment which has Contoso demo data in the USMF company, there are a number of assets that are already set up. There's a lot of them with a pretty detailed functional location hierarchy and all those configurations there. So if you're looking for something quick and easy, that is one option. The other option that you have, I recently did a Tech Talk series with a couple of other folks from the FastTrack team on how to configure asset management, and we used the fictional Purple Pillow company and walked through all the setups that we did there. So if you want something that you configure yourself, you could use the Tech Talk series to go through that, or use the USMF legal entity in the Contoso demo data.
Awesome. So thanks for that. Phil was actually so kind enough. I'm going to just flash these on the screen. Phil is one of our colleagues in the FastTrack team. So thanks for joining us today, Phil. But he happened to have the links handy. So the link that you see here is our LinkedIn page for the FastTrack team. So if you don't already follow that LinkedIn company page, I would strongly urge you to do so. And he also has for us the newsletter. That's a lot of numbers on the end. So hopefully if you're joining us from LinkedIn, you should be able to click on that link in the chat directly, so you don't have to type all those numbers. But if you go to the FastTrack Dynamics 365 company page, you'll see our posts there with all of the newsletters. So you can easily navigate to it from there.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. So we've got so many people posting links for us. So Alejandra, another one of our colleagues, thanks for joining us. She's got the link to the asset management series that Anne was just referring to. So yeah. It's like I got a whole team of people out here curating links for me while Anne and I just banter live about whatever. I love it. I love all the support. So thank you all for, coming in and joining us.
I don't know. We'll have to tap Phil and Alejandra and some of our other colleagues to join us some week to talk about whatever's top of mind for them.
Yeah. Or like if you want to talk about what's top of mind right now, like type it in the chat. We'll read your notes out loud, live. on the internet.
Yeah, with a recording. So just, keep it clean.
Keep it clean. No bad words, guys. I did have to mark the checkbox in YouTube that this was not made for kids. So,
well, I don't know. I mean, I've been doing ERP since I was 3 years old, so I feel like this is for kids. Just kidding.
You got me beat, Anne. I didn't start until I was 12, but 3, that's pretty young.
Well, they say, start them early and
start them early. Start them early. I think that's such great advice.
Actually, I do think I think it would be interesting to reflect on how we got our starts, because we do have kind of different stories.
Yeah.
And to keep mine short and sweet, I studied in industrial engineering in college, and I didn't personally take this kind of a class, but I know that in certain college majors, business majors, maybe industrial engineering or supply chain management majors, there are actually college courses on business systems like ERPs, which I think is really interesting. I didn't take one of those. I just took a job at a partner right out of college. They had a grad program where they would hire students and teach them about Dynamics, get them certified, and then put them through a program with mentors to help them become full-fledged consultants. So I actually came into the industry that way, which I think is great that there are partners out there that have these programs that take anybody and can train them into the industry. So shout out to all the partners who do that, I guess. Yeah. But I know, Rachel, you had a bit of a different track, which I think is super interesting. So I'd love for you to share how you got into the industry.
Yeah. So I started my DamnGuard Exapta career, really just out of high school. I got a summer job that my aunt helped. Was it my aunt? No, it was my stepmom. My stepmom helped me get the job at a local RV company, and they were getting rid of their old green screen system and implementing this new exciting software system called DamnGuard Exapta version 2.5 at the time. And I was, in the accounting team and, knew how to use a keyboard and a mouse. And that was some pretty strong skills at the time. Like I could go type into Ask Jeeves and ask it questions. So I got my roots from there. Like I was in accounts payable and kind of learned. I picked a lot of it all up kind of naturally. Moved into the IT department where I learned the product builder, like the old one, not the new product configurator. And if you can learn how to use the product builder with like bajillion level bombs and like writing weird X++ into the product builder, you can learn anything. Like literally you can learn anything. So I self-taught how to write X++ because like back then there was no documentation or training or whatever. I had a bunch of guides that were a mix of English and Danish. And I literally was like using Ask Jeeves because like I think Google might have existed, but like it wasn't a big deal. Like Ask Jeeves was where it was at. And so I self-taught how to write X++. And my very first big customization was this big HR safety thing that we did because we had 21 manufacturing plants and people kept injuring themselves. And it was a lot of work for the HR department. So I did my first development project. Somewhere in all of that, I decided to join the Army. And so I went and did the Army thing for a little while, came back. I loved Dynamics. And so after spending 5 years on the customer side, I moved over to the partner side where I spent about 15 years on the partner side in a variety of roles. But I started out like in a support type of role. And then I moved into a training type of role, which is really where my passion is and has always been and continues to be.
Yeah.
And so I love teaching people about dynamics. I've got like a photographic memory of like every screen I've ever seen or clicked on inside of dynamics, like in my brain up here. And I've got a really good folder system for storing it all. So, yeah. And then 2 years ago, I came to Microsoft, where I'm now a FastTrack solution architect. So,
yeah, I think it's our mutual love of or our mutual passion for teaching people about dynamics that made us connect and work together so closely. So thank you for dynamics for bringing Rachel and I together. But I think it's really important.
I think we should thank Satya. Can we just go ahead? Shout out to Satya Nadella. Thank you for bringing me and Anne together.
I guess. I mean, sure. But I think it's really important, like something I've been talking about a lot, so anybody who talks to me probably knows this, but I think it's really important to make our industry more accessible to people. I probably monologued about this last week because it's been top of mind for me for like a long time now, but anybody could be a really good fit for our industry. I know, like Rachel, we also have talked to other folks about how not only different backgrounds, but also neurodiverse skill sets. There are so many places for them to be supported and to flourish in our industry, and all these opportunities for everybody. And I think that tech often is one of those areas, depending, that it's kind of closed off to certain people. Having a college degree is one big kind of gate to getting into tech. But even just kind of having a certain personality or being from a certain background, or just having somebody who can tell you that this exists and here's how to get into it. So I think that's going to be top of mind for me for the rest of my career, is how do we continue to make this a place that's more accessible for anybody, and how do we make knowledge just like free and easy to access.
Absolutely. I think inclusivity and accessibility and diversity are topics that are obviously so close to my heart and top of mind for me all the time. For those of you that follow my blog, I'm sure you know that last year I was diagnosed as an autistic ADHDer with PTSD, and there's a whole other list of other medical issues I have. But I think, like, I appreciate what you're saying, Anne. Like, I think it's so important that we evangelize and that we advocate for this amazing community. And I know, like, the dynamics space is such a tight-knit community. We always talk about, like, it's so small. Like, every time I go to a live conference, I'm like, you see all the same people, like you meet all the same people, and like we all kind of like get around, if you will. And there's a lot of really great skill and a lot of really great people. And I want to see it grow. And I know we can, and we're going to get there, but we appreciate all of you for following and listening in.
Yeah. I mean, with kind of like, to close this topic, if any of you have opportunities where we can help, or if you have ideas or whatever, my door is open, Rachel's door is open, and I'm always looking for opportunities to volunteer or participate or share what I know. And we spend time building content, Microsoft published content, like our tech talks or the docs articles we've worked on. So if you have suggestions for that, we want to hear that too. So for the LinkedIn user asking, is this going to be a regular event? I think our plan is to just do these, weekly and see how they go. And if we get traction, we'll keep doing them. And if you guys think this is ridiculous, then maybe we'll keep doing them anyway. But hopefully
you guys learned something. But like, come with your questions. We'll try to get them answered. But we appreciate you all. Make sure to give us a like and a follow. Hit the bell. Get the notifications every time we go live. And we'll see you next time. Next week, same time, Ann? We're going to do it again next week?
Yep, next week, same time.
All right. Well, we'll see you all. Thanks for joining us
you.
on Top of Mind live with Ann and Rachel.